Alright, this one is almost dry. I stepped away for a few minutes to iron another piece because I was figuring while this is continuing to dry, why I can at least do the bottom of the second one. Oh, I haven't sanded it yet. I take that back. I can't do it yet. I gotta sand it. Alright, but I did iron it. I don't know if you can see. I don't know if the difference in it's going to show up. And this is linen, so it's a pain to iron to try to get all of the wrinkles out. It took a lot of heat. So I'm going to try to be careful with this one and not get it wrinkled again. Set that to the side. Alright, this is it's pretty good. Yeah, so the Aleene's, it dries pretty decent speed. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not CA, so it's not going to dry that fast. Alright, so what I'm going to try to do here is to try to pull it snug as possible and glue it. So I think I'll start from this corner over here, because what I don't want to do is pull it too far here and leave myself short. So I'm going to start from this corner here. See if I can't pull it relatively snug and glue. Alright, let's see how that goes. It's been a while since I've done this. Then I'll wait for the end. When this are done, then I'll do the ends pull and wrap. Alright, so, and I should have had this sitting on the snooze. This is a relatively older bottle, so it may have started to congeal a little bit. Like I said, I went back to RCU and updated my thread a little bit. And again, I was surprised at how much time has passed. It's amazing how you can get busy with life and the years just click on by. I remember, of course, when we were kids, it seemed like time moved so slow. And I don't know at what point in life, at what age, that changed. And time now is just flies by. I guess once you enter adulthood and you have responsibilities, the time just clicks on by. Alright. So I'm going to try to pull this here. Try to pull it snug. I'm debating if I want to try to use any clamps or pins or anything like that. But let's try it with just by hand. Again, I can't remember how I did it before. Tug and wrap. Try not to introduce any wrinkles. And try not to lift, but that's not going too well either. I'm sure there's a better way to do this. At least the glue seems to be holding pretty well. It's not trying to snap back. It's got a good amount of tension on it. So I'm just going to let that dry. I think it takes about, I think the elapsed time, because I'd stopped the camera for when I did the trailing edge, is roughly 10 minutes. So I should time it this time. Alright, I'm going to let this dry some and I'll be back. Probably about 10 minutes. So I'm going to press pause, but it won't be 10 minutes for you. Be right back. Alright, it's been about 10 minutes or so. Looks like it's dried pretty well. I'm at the point where I'm doing some more trimming. I've trimmed off this edge here. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's not sharp. I need to get a sharper blade here. I'm going to do some trimming here. Here, let me turn it this way, make it easy for myself. Now, I've goofed already, and I'm sure some of you very attentive folks know exactly what I did. I forgot to do something before I glued or wrapped this fabric. Who can guess what it is? I think some of y'all got the right answer. I forgot to, drum roll please, I forgot to wax the ribs. Boom. So without the wax on the ribs, in theory, the cloth is, when the dope goes on it, the cloth is going to stick. So, it's a good thing this is an experiment, right? Because if I had done this on the real deal Holyfield, I'd be quite upset. It rocks because this brace, this yardstick brace is on the actual bottom of the rib. It's not cut into it. On the second wing that I did, I realized that since it was an afterthought, and I actually cut it so this one won't rock. It should sit pretty flat. But again, who cares? This is not an actual flying wing. Alright, so now to do the waxing. So here's the beeswax. Here's this big old block of beeswax I was telling you about. Natural beeswax. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that French stuff. So the question is, what's the best way to apply it? I mean, do I get down here and just rub it? Does that work? I don't know. That might work. It actually leaves some in there. Maybe that's how I'm supposed to do it versus melting. And the reason I'm thinking that is because you saw from my other practice wing, at some point in time the wax actually bled through. And I think that's because since I was melting it and put it on there, I probably put way too much on there. So again, this is an experiment. And why not do it this way and see what happens? What's the worst that can happen? What's the worst that could happen? I don't know. But okay, sports fans, we're back at it again. I had another battery depletion issue, so you missed the last part of me covering this one side of the plane, of the wing rather. So I've got one side covered. It's not necessarily very taut. Here, I had a quarter over here somewhere earlier. Here it is. Let's see this one. So it's got a little bit of bounce to it. So, you know, I pulled it snug. I wasn't trying to get it final, you know, tautness, just enough to get it snug. Alright, so now on this side, I need to trim the edges. As I mentioned, got my old trusty single edge razor blade. Could use an X-Acto knife. Whatever you happen to have handy. So, since I have this handy, I am just going to trim the cloth covering here. Maybe I can turn it so you can see it, what I'm doing here. So I'm just following the edge here where it's been glued. Not doing a good job of it. Yeah, maybe if I stand up. Okay, that's that one edge. Not going to worry too much about that while I sit here and worry about it. Alright, let's do the other side. Yeah, I'm seriously going to have to get a better camera system here. I'm using a couple of little point and shoots. I don't know if I mentioned that already. I got my old timers hitting in. I can't remember what I told you already. But in any case, I got a couple of point and shoot cameras from a trip we took a few years ago that I bought for my kids to take pictures while we were on. I'm actually applying more pressure here. That's why it's cutting better. I was being a Nancy last time, trying to be delicate. But this time I applied more pressure. Alright, any case, I got a couple of digital point and shoots, identical, so I just been swapping the batteries. But I guess because those batteries are several years old now, they don't last too long. I need to brush off this top because I got a lot of my work, I've got a lot of dust and stuff. Any case, so that's one side down. Got the cloth for the other side. Again, I can't remember if you caught this on the last video or not. I had ironed it. That was a couple of days ago. And because I wasn't good about keeping it in place, it got a few more wrinkles in it. But you can see it definitely looks different out of the gate being ironed. So again, I'm gonna glue this on. I'm gonna go from trailing edge, from trailing edge. I'm going to wrap it around to the leading edge and then trim it. Okay? Alright, so I don't really guess you need to see me sit there and glue it, but I'll glue it and then I'll be back. And then we'll be ready to start doing some more of the prep work. Also, while again, I can't remember if I mentioned this or not last time, while I was waiting for that to dry and other stuff, I went ahead and sanded the second test winglet. So I'll be ready to cover this one immediately. Alright, I'm gonna glue this and I'll be back. Deuce.